Guys, the set says that the CEO of Parekh Motors, a mid-sized automobile company which makes tractors and small trucks, has just made a startling discovery. On a business visit to the Pune, he has come across a robotics firm which makes robots that can perform most of the functions that assembly workers perform. Parekh Motors employs, we can write a full stop here. Okay, put a full stop here. Fine. Parekh Motors employs 250 people in assembly line functions, and he reckons that if he were to introduce robots in assembly line production, he would be able to save a lot of money by replacing the workforce with robots. Okay, so he can save a lot of money here. Fine. Even if the one-time capital cost of inducting robots is large financial gains are guaranteed in long term. However, the company that makes these robotics company that make these robots, the name is Robotics International, is a small company, and he had hitherto never heard of it. Hitherto means what? Till now. Okay, till now. So till now, never heard of it. Okay, he's unsure about the performance of these machines, about their long-term efficacy, and the kind of glitches that robots in production may incur. However, he has also heard that Parekh Motors' main rival Eker Motor has recently inducted robots on trial basis at their plant in Karnataka. Fine. So look at this question, guys. This question says that what should CEO do? Rank the choices in the sequence that CEO should follow. Statement 1. Make a detailed cost benefit of a study of inducting robots at the expense of workers. We just read once all the statement, guys. Okay, because you can't just choose right now. Just read all the statement and try to eliminate here. So in this kind of question, basically what we do, we try to eliminate options. Okay, so what should he do? That means what is this priorities right now? Okay, out of this 5 actually. So make a detailed cost benefit study of inducting robots at the expense of workers. So yes, that he should do. Obviously, because cost benefit study has to be done. Okay. Make alternative provisions of employment for the workers being replaced. Obviously, right? That's a bit ethical. That's a good and ethical option, because the workers which will be replaced with this have to got replaced. So looks correct. Induct the robots immediately since his rival has done so. So you can put a cross here, because it's like we don't copy any company. We have our own policies. We see what suits me, what doesn't suits me, right? So option 3 has to be eliminated. Statement 4. Induct the robots on a trial basis to check for its functionalities and potential glitches. Obviously, right? So when you're inducting something, you try to induct the robots on trial basis, obviously, right? So again, 4th is correct. 5th is do not induct robots in the assembly production process, as the workers are likely to protest violently. So that should be wrong, because technology has to replace somewhere, and it says that large financial gains are possible, right? That they has to do. So basically right now we eliminated 3 and 5, and we have to rank among 1, 4 and 2. So between 1, 4 and 2, if I have to rank here, guys, okay, so we have got only one statement here, that is 1, 4 and 2 only. So only one option, guys. Okay, so nothing bad in this. So this is the answer here. Okay, so you have only got one option here, B here, right? But if at all I have to rank them also, so I would rank like this, right? Basically, first we make a detailed cost benefit study, obviously, right? Okay, then we induct them on trial basis. So if trials are successful, then we make alternative provisions of the employment of the workers being replaced, right? So basically, first cost benefit study, second their trial basis to check them, and then third part will come in the last, that is statement number 2 here, that alternative provisions of employment for the workers being replaced here. Fine. Chalo. Now let's move to the next question. So I hope many of you got this right. Okay. Now let's move to the second question, guys. Now it says that the second question says that after a successful trial run in his plant, the CEO decides to induct robots in his assembly line. Violent protests occur as workers, fearing job losses, run amok, setting fire to several vehicles inside the factory premises and hurling stones at the main administrative building. Okay, so that's the question here. Fine. Now this says that what was the major mistake that the CEO made? Okay, so you need to find it. You need to find out here. So you have to give your own viewpoint here, right? So many questions we have to think some point from point of view of employee. In many questions we need to think from point of view of CEO, right? But basically here I can give my view that what was the major mistake CEO made, right? And basically my view matters here. Okay, so what was the major mistake that the CEO made, right? So once you read the statements here, guys, okay, So statement A is he should have communicated his decision of inducting robots to the workforce before taking the decision to induct them, right? Basically, see, we'll analyze this question, these options, right? Option A won't be correct here because the problem here is CEO decides to induct robots in his assembly line. Okay, the problem here is a violent protests are occurring because they are fearing job losses here. Right. So anyhow, if he would have communicated the decision directly of inducting robots, so that would again that the fear of job loss would not have been eliminated. Right. That's why option A would be not correct here. Okay. That's not the mistake he has made here, right? So option B here, guys. He should have communicated to his workforce that technological advances and their attendant disruptions are inevitable and that workers should accept them gracefully, right? Again, so it indirectly or directly he's saying that they have certain job loss here, right? So this again, that protest won't be silent because they are fearing job losses. Actually, this is the major reason here. This region is not eliminated in A option as well as B option, right? Put a cross here. He should have set up a steering committee with workers representative among its members here, right? Now, basically the problem here is if he will set up a steering committee with workers, he may get some biased decisions also, right? Biased decisions. Because if you ask from workers to replace worker with robots, obviously they'll say always a no, right? So that's why again option C is not a good choice for them here. Okay, and still that problem is still is persisting that they are fearing job losses right now. Okay, so option D is he should have assured the workers that there would be no short-term job losses with the induction of robots in assembly line production, and that any worker affected by the decision would not get only monetary compensation, but Parekh would also try to get them gainfully employed elsewhere, right? So again, this is a good option, right? Basically, the fearing of job losses which they had is somewhat reduced in D. So again, in the exam, we need to just find the best. We just need to mark the best option, right? Okay, so D looks the best till now among A, B, and C because that job loss fear or that problem is a little bit calmed down here. Okay, they need to calm down the situation. Okay, E here basically is he should have reminded his workers that Eker Motors had induced robots and therefore he has little choice in the matter. After some time, Parekh Motors would not be able to compete unless the... So again, a problem again in E, same problem is persisting, right? Fearing of job losses. So in option D only, it is somewhat getting reduced here, right? So option D would be the correct answer here. Chalo, fine. Let's go to the next question, guys. How can the CEO of Parekh Motors best manage this paradox of inducting robots on a large scale and at the same time ensure industrial peace in the factory? So again, a very good question here, guys. Okay, so let's just read this options here. Statement A, B, C, D. Option A, B, C, D, and E. Basically, if you read option A here, okay. So again, अब यहाँ पे ध्यान देना that fear of workers is the job losses. That basically is the fear of the workers, right? That has to be taken into consideration while marking any answer, right? So statement 1 read this: transfer the replaced assembly line workers to other functions within the company, right? Okay, so now if this statement is this option 1 actually is true, okay, so option 1 kind of statement is generally not true in this kind of set, right? Generally not true, because if the people are transferred to other functions, right, they doesn't possess the same skill set. Okay, so same skill set is not possessed by them, right? Same skill set, right? So I've seen many sets actually and many wrong answers also anywhere at many places. Okay, so same skill set. So if you're transferring the people in other functions, same skill set doesn't exist, right? So you don't know how much extra work has to be required, how much extra learning is required, right? So generally this is not true in this kind of questions also, right? Okay, चलो, so option A is still, just put a question mark here. Okay, देखते हैं option A को. In the last we'll see again if there's no better. We have to mark the best option, right? So if there's no better option than A, then A will mark obviously, right? Then move to B option here, guys. Convert the permanent job status of the assembly line workers to casual worker status. Okay, casual worker status. Casual workers have no job security and can be dismissed at short notice without assigning any reason. Okay, now again, this will not secure any kind of industrial peace, right? So option B will not secure any kind of industrial peace, right? That chaos will remain. Okay, again, B is gone now. Move to C, guys. Offer a generous voluntary retirement scheme to assembly line workers and induct robots in phases so that replace only retired and VRS employees, right? So don't think too much here about what is VRS and all, right? So basically just because every company may have this different policies. So voluntary retirement scheme is a good idea because that will compensate for the some amount. Okay, that if they're retired, then they're paying something for them, right? So this somewhat actually reduces the chaos. It somewhat option C calm down the situation. It helps in bringing the situation to a bit normal. Okay, so a kind of calm down kind of option, it is option C. Okay, so VRS is basically any company is like compensating for your. It has got different policies, right? Okay, so many companies, like if they're giving you VRS, they may, let's say they wanted to retire 5 years before this for your retirement age, they'll give you 5 years salary in advance, right? Or maybe some negotiation that happens, right? That we don't have to go that deep in that. Okay, so not that deep, so, but it's a good option, right? So because he has to induct robots anyhow, right? So and if robots will be introduced, workers will be affected, right? So because the technology has to grow, company has to grow, robots has to be introduced. Okay, and the workers has to be affected also, right? So let's say which option will affect them in a minimum way. That's what we are finding, right? But obviously they will be affected, right? So option C looks a looks good till now. D, set up a committee to communicate with workers representatives. Same thing, right? They will be biased. Okay, so if you get workers' opinion, you'll get biased opinion here because obviously they don't want to get replaced as robot. They don't want to have that job losses, right? Nobody wants that, right? So again, D option is not correct. E, try and lobby with the government to allow large scale retrenchment of the workers in his factory. Okay, so now basically option 5 would not be feasible actually, right? Okay, it will be difficult to convince the government to make some exception in this case, right? So it's difficult to carry out. It's not feasible because asking government to put an exception here, right, a bit of kind of not a correct option here, right? So basically E again crossed. So in A versus C looks the best option because you are somehow you're trying to compensate for their job losses. Okay, and this again, A, people can think here that in A their career can be elongated and all, right, but that doesn't happen, right? You have to think in something in favor of company also because company wants to grow, company is doing nothing wrong, right? That's a main point here, that company is doing nothing wrong. It's just a part and parcel of this, right? That when technology will grow, job losses will happen, that manual job losses will happen, right? So that's the point here. Okay, so hope you like this set, guys. Okay, so I tried to cover many good points in this set. Okay, so let's continue this decision making in the next video. Thank you for watching.